So first of all, you can pause the video and try to solve this question in approximately 2 minutes without looking at the notes below. Welcome back. So this following question is taken from Combinations and Probability. It's a lecture given during week 6. In the figure above, a grid is made up of 12 identical squares, and how many ways are there to reach from point A to point B using the shortest possible route along the grid lines? In other words, you're not allowed to go back. Now, this is not a very easy question. One way of going about it is this, right? I can go from point A to point B by going from point A right, then right again, then right again. Then once I reach this point, I can go up, 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 and up. In other words, the first route that I can take is RRR, and then U, 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 U. However, there are many others. The second route can be RR, U, R, up, up, and up. So it's a bit confusing. Imagine actually having to count all of these. So it's right, right, up, 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 and so on and so forth. Again, it's slightly difficult to do it. Thankfully, we actually will talk about a very, very similar question during the course. And what we know that if we have a question, if we see this, if we have a question that deals with arranging items in a row or in a circle, first of all, the question type is combinations and probability. And on this examination, combinations and probability are really difficult questions. What we need to do, the takeaway is this. The MO is to know that the number of ways to arrange n items is either n factorial. In a circle, it's n minus 1 factorial. And this is the kicker. If K1 and K2 of the items are identical to one another, then this is the asterisk. What I need to do is divide the n factorial by K1 times K2. Let's apply it to what we talked about just now. Think about it. Basically, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items. 7 items. The number of ways to arrange 7 items in a row is 7 factorial. 7 factorial. However, if, and this is the asterisk, if 3 of these items and 4 of these items in this case are identical to one another, then what I need to do is I simply need to divide by 3 factorial and 4 factorial. 3 factorial times 4 factorial. That's it. And the correct answer choice is E. Now, why exactly we do that? Again, it's something that we're going to talk about during the course, but I also wanted to show you something added for this particular question. And the official review, the official guide for the GMAT review, the 12th edition, mind you, now available on paperback, there was this question. The question was about pad walking from intersection X to intersection Y. And again, very similar to what we saw right now, they asked you how many ways are there to get from point X to point Y. So again, it's right, right, up, 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 but it's also right, up, up. So basically what they said here, and this is a no-no, the explanation that they gave, and this is the whole reason I actually showed you this particular question, the explanation that they gave is that, oh, you have R, R, U, 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 you have 5 items that you need to flip around, then they just gave you some kind of a computer spit out, a printout of all of the routes, and apparently there are 10 routes. I don't think I can do this in 2 minutes, and therefore the correct answer choice is 10. This is a horrible, horrible way of going about solving this question. They absolutely did not understand. The person writing the question and the person writing the solution were probably 2 different people. That is not the way to go about this question. Not to mention the fact that if you have a slightly different scenario, instead of a 2 by 3 grid, if you have a 3 by 4 grid, this is so much more difficult to do in the very haphazard way that they showed you. So again, the takeaway, and we're going to have these takeaways for every single question on the course, is whenever you see arranging items in a row or in a circle, It's going to be n factorial for row and n minus 1 factorial for a circle. If k1 and k2 of the items are identical to one another, you just divide the total number of arrangements by k1 factorial and k2 factorial. One last thing. This answer choice did not have to be this quote unquote nice. They could have also simplified it. Now, 6 factorial, as some of you may know at this point, is 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Or 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 factorial. Why do we stop here? Because then we can cancel out. In other words, what is also required of you as people taking the examination is the ability to simplify the answer choices. If you do look deeper into the chasm, then you have 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 factorial divided by 3 factorial times 4 factorial. Now, 4 factorial goes away. 3 factorial is basically 6. So the correct answer here is actually 35. Most people, if they were have to gamble, would think that the correct answer is more than 35, but it's not. Correct answer choice is E.